Welcome back to my channel. My name is Tabby the Herbal Witch, and today we are going to talk about the 5 elements in magic. If you see me looking down, it's because I'm looking at my notes because sometimes I ramble. So here we go. The 5 elements of magic are earth, air, fire, water, and spirit. And of course, these make up the 5 points of the pentagram. And you will see this symbol worn or shown by a lot of witches. And this just represents the 5 elements that make up magic. Okay. So first, let's talk about earth. Earth is used for grounding. It could represent fertility, the beginning and the ending of life, because life comes from the earth with the growth of plants and things like that. And also when things die, they go back to the earth, they decompose, and it starts the life cycle over again. And so we see this in the cycle of a human being as well, where we feel like we are made up of all the elements of the earth. When we are born, we come out, and so we have life. And then once we pass on, our bodies are then returned to the ground. And so, in your magic, you could use earth for several things. So the element of earth is when you can bury something to stabilize that magic. So let's just say that you've created some sort of protection jar. You want to stabilize that magic. You want that magic to remain in that area. So you would then bury that protection jar in the vicinity of the area that you want to protect. Okay, so that is grounding that magic. It is holding that magic in that spot. Now, on the same note, if I wanted to get rid of something, depending on what it is and where I bury it, I could get rid of something. So it just depends on the location and the magic. The element of air. So air represents or corresponds with intelligence, creativity, psychic ability, prayer, and communication. Air can transmit messages to the divine and to the others in the spirit realm. And it can also bring messages. So air can send messages or transmit messages from us to the divine or the spirit world, and vice versa. Okay. And sometimes we get these messages from animal spirits. So sometimes a bird will come and sit in our window, and it's like, okay, bird, I know you're here to bring me a message. That came via the air. Okay. Or we could send messages via air by lighting incense or burning sage. And so either way, we are using that air element to transmit some sort of message. Okay. The way that I like to do it is whenever I am working my magic, I always have some sort of incense burning. And definitely in order to cleanse my home and let any entities that are not welcome, to let them know that they have to go, I would burn, Palo Santo, and let that smoke go, or sage, and let that smoke go throughout the home, or some sort of incense. It doesn't necessarily have to be sage or Palo Santo or whatever. You can use whatever you want as long as that smoke is then being used to clear the area. Okay. The element of fire. Fire is strength. It is purifying. It is a light that drives out the darkness. It consumes and it transforms energy. And it brings that heat. Okay. And a lot of people think of fire as like, passion or whatever. I am an Aries, and fire is my favorite element. Not because I'm an Aries, but because I connect better with the element of fire. And maybe it is because I'm Aries. I don't know. I connect better with fire. Most of the magic that I practice is candle magic. I practice other types of magic using different elements, but I am drawn to and have more success with fire magic. Okay. So, like I said, it has that power behind it. It has that passion behind it. There's a strength there. There's almost like there's a push, an extra push when you're using fire, um, to change something. For example, when you're working your magic and you want to use fire, like I said, you could use candle magic. Okay, using color correspondences. You light that candle, you say your intention, and you put your energy behind that, while also drawing from the energy of that fire and that light of the candle. Okay. If you wanted to drive out the darkness, like literally there is darkness within you or coming around you, you light a candle to drive that darkness out. You could also destroy something with fire, of course. You could take something negative, you set it on fire, you put your intent behind it, and that fire will transform and cleanse whatever it is that you're trying to get rid of. All right. Fire can also be used for an offering, to send something to the divine. So if I wanted to give an offering to a goddess, I would send a burnt offering, just like they did in biblical times. They would send a burnt offering. It's similar. You would send a burnt offering, and of course, that offering would then be transformed into the smoke, the smell of the smoke, and all of that would then go into the heavens to the divine. Okay. All right, the element of water. Now, water is one of those things that I'm kind of like, but a lot of people have a lot of success using the element of water in their magic. The element of water corresponds with emotions, movements, cleansing, carrying things away, and bringing things toward us. And it also corresponds with the spirit world. A lot of people believe that on the other side of water or the mirroring effect of water can hold or carry spirits or spiritual energy. So when it comes to water, you could cleanse things. So a lot of people who are cleansing their tools, their magical tools, they may use water. Some people who are cleansing their crystals, those crystals that can be cleansed in water and won't dissolve, they will use water. Sometimes when you are needing to cleanse yourself, of course, we take a spiritual bath and a regular bath, I hope, or shower, but we use water for its cleansing effect. I know of magical practices that use water to carry things away. Now, I don't want to sound like I'm polluting the earth or I'm encouraging one to pollute the earth, but things that are water soluble, biodegradable, will not harm your environment. If you use it in your magic and you want that to be carried away, you would then put it in a body of water that would then carry it away. And so water is a great element, especially for cleansing and purification and things like that. Last but not least, spirit. The element of spirit, of course, is used in magic. That's all a lot of us really talk about is, spirit, the divine, God, whatever you call it. And of course, the spirits on the other side, our ancestors, other entities or beings that are in the spirit realm that you may work with or ward off or whatever. The element of spirit is there. It's also called aether or quintessence or the fifth element. Okay. This element, the spirit element, is the bridge. This is the bridge between the body and the soul. Okay, it transitions materials between the spiritual and physical realm. And it is all around us and in everything. And of course, how you could use spirit, the element of spirit in your magic, is you asking spirit or spirits to help you in your magic. asking them to protect you, asking them to give you guidance, asking spirits to do things for you. You give them an offering, they do things for you, or you pay homage to your ancestors and I'll give them offerings and they help and protect you and guide you. We also speak to the divine or speak to spirit, asking for help. And of course, we incorporate all of those elements into our magic. And so you can get as deep into that as you want to, or be as superficial with that as you want to. I would say before you work with any spirits, know exactly what it is that you're working with. Know exactly the boundaries that you're going to allow when it comes to a spirit or entity and working with that in your magic, and be prepared for anything that you conjure up that you are able to then get rid of if you need to. Okay, so that is all I have to say on the 5 elements. If you would like a deeper dive into these 5 elements, please do not hesitate to comment. I would love to hear how you all use the 5 elements in your magic. So once again, that is it for me. Thank you for watching. If you've made it this far, please don't forget to like, comment, or subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. And I will see you in my next video. Be blessed.